President Tinubu canvasses for improved collaboration with Algeria and European Union, seeks to revive Trans-Saharan African gas pipeline project. Police arrest 2 more kidnappers of former AIG's wife, recover cash and firearms. Plus, TCN restores bulk power to parts of FCT and environs after weeks of blackout. Hello and welcome to the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. My name is Justin Bemungi. President Bola Tinubu is canvassing an improved collaboration between Nigeria and Algeria that will also help to implement the Trans-Saharan African gas pipeline project. The President Tinubu was addressing the new Algerian ambassador to Nigeria, one of the 3 new envoys who presented letters of credence to him this Friday. Status correspondent Musbad and Wahab reports.
55-year-old Hussein Masoud is the new Algerian ambassador to Nigeria. He is also representing the North African country in ECOWAS, covering Togo and Benin Republic. His country has commonality with Nigeria as also a large producer and exporter of oil and gas. He assumed this position when President Bola Tinubu is preparing Nigeria as a net exporter of gas to the world. Expressing hope for a new partnership with Algeria in this regard, President Bola Tinubu expressed belief that African countries should collaborate more to lift one another to become stronger together. The Algerian ambassador equally agreed that the Trans-Saharan African gas pipeline project and other proposed regional development projects will significantly impact the continent. Masoud said Algeria would continue to support Nigeria in negotiating for improved livelihood on the continent with multilateral institutions. The Republic of Finland also sent Ms. Sanna Selin as its new envoy in Nigeria at a time the relationship between both countries is witnessing dimensional growth. Her meeting offered the president the opportunity to comment on the recent arrest of Simon Ekpa. President Tinubu commended the intervention of the Finnish government with the arrest and detention of Simon Ekpa, saying his government would not tolerate actions and statements that will lead to divisiveness among citizens. He lauded the Finnish authorities for the timely intervention that safeguarded the nation's integrity and mitigated an action that threatened peaceful coexistence. He said even as a child born into activism, he does not believe in divisiveness, as he noted that Nigeria needs cohesion and cooperation to bring about developments. The president also pointed out that the ambassador's priorities, including ICT, agriculture, and education, will directly impact the country's developments. The ambassador of Finland extolled the president for his courage in initiating reforms that will benefit the economy and ensure prosperity in the future. Similarly, Mr. Gautier Mignon is the new head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS. President Tinubu acknowledged the EU as one of the highest trading partners of Nigeria, urging the envoy to work towards elevating the volume of transactions and strengthening the ties. He said Nigeria needs support in digitalizing and automating operations and processes for rendering services.
To foster an era for Nigeria, certainly, of economic prosperity, In a rapidly changing world and with rapidly changing dynamics, Nigeria continues to lead, especially in Africa, in fostering peace and security. And in this guise, we always seek the support and collaboration of the European Union.
Ambassador Minyo told President Tinubu that Nigeria holds many untapped potentials, adding that more could be realized through development cooperation and technology leveraging. From the State House, Musbah Nanwahab, NT News.
And our Chairman, Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation, Senator Ken Eze, says policies and programs of government, as well as projecting a positive image of Nigeria to the global community, may continue to fall short of expectations in terms of impact until government channels the needed financial resources to the sector. While submitting the 2025 budget report to the Appropriations Committee for consideration, Senator Eze insists that staff welfare must also be prioritized. National Assembly correspondent Lameli reports on these and other legislative activities in the 2025 budget.
Among projects listed by the minister captured in the budget of the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Management is the second runway of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The minister told the Joint Committee that the earlier contract awarded for the work was cancelled due to variations he described as outrageous.
When we don't have a 100% release, the projects remain like that. They come back for variation, most of the contractors, and then it is penny wise, pound foolish for us as federal government not to quickly fund these projects and complete them. Because at the end of the day, we'll now end up spending 4 times more.
They should give us the passenger their respect, their honor. This is our country. It's not about making money for them alone.
At another session, the Joint Committee on Local and Foreign Debt engaged the Ministry of Finance and the Debt Management Office.
We own most of Nigeria's public debt, okay? So it's on our website, but it's 142 trillion naira as at September.
The National Assembly is, however, optimistic about Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio in 2025.
The debt ratio to GDP is about 55%. That is not bad. What explains the increase from 40% to 55% is the fact, again, that we don't have the cash. Now, Tinubu administration has done very well in the last 18 months. It has gone down to about 65%.
Chief medical directors of teaching hospitals in the country at the budget sitting with the House Committee on Health Institutions want federal government to take measures towards addressing brain drain in the sector.
Restitution almost every day. And I hope
we have problems.
In the next 1 or 2 years, we are not going to have all our hospitals empty. We need to do something about remuneration of all the healthcare workers. Otherwise, government is putting a lot of money in infrastructure, and we are going to have empty hospitals.
I think so. The reality is that you must extract the proposal made by Mr. President as it affects your medical center.
Meanwhile, standing committees of the Senate have commenced submission of reports to the Appropriations Committee as legislative work continues on the 2025 budget.
Now, the Nigeria Police Force has made another breakthrough in the case of the recent kidnap of the wife of retired Assistant Inspector General of Police Hakeem Odumosu. Francis Form reports.
And 30-year-old suspects were apprehended in the early hours of today by the Lagos State Commissioner of Police Special Squad while attempting to sneak out of Lagos State. During interrogation, the suspects reportedly confessed to being members of a 4-man gang behind the abduction.
2 of whom have been neutralized previously by police operatives in Ogun State. Recovered from the suspect upon their arrest were the sum of 2,250,000 naira only, which was part of the requested ransom, and 2 locally fabricated rifles and some live cartridges and ammunition of various calibers.
In another development, the police authority has explained the reason minds behind the 5th edition of the conference and retreat for senior police officers, billed for next month.
The Nigerian government now is working seriously to have quick economic recovery, social integration and development in all fields. We are choosing the theme to reflect our ability as the responsible institution to play our own part to support the government.
And the Inspector General of Police have always ensured that this whole training cascade down to the rank and file.
The force also emphasized the importance of fostering inclusive policing to bolster national security and drive economic growth. Francis from NTA News.
Now, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says it has restored full bulk power to its Apo transmission substation following successful relocation of 8 towers along the Kukwaba-Apo line. With the restoration of full bulk power, TCN says Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, can now provide normal electricity supply from the substation to its customers in the affected areas, ending the previous. The 2 weeks relocation work was necessitated by the road dualization project along the Apo axis. TCN appreciates the patience and understanding of the affected electricity customers during the 2 weeks period. President Kashim Shettima has returned to Nigeria after his eventful engagement at the 2025 World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The Vice President, who represented Nigeria at the annual Global Economic Summit, presented the nation's investment opportunities to a global audience, advocated African economic integration, and held strategic meetings with world leaders and international organizations. While in Davos, Vice President Shettima participated in forums that drew attention to the importance of driving investment into Africa's frontier markets. The National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has unveiled a new general multi-purpose identity card. The card combines identity verification with access to social benefits and financial services. Victor Azu reports.
The new general multi-purpose card is not just another card. Unlike the current version, which serves as only a means of identification, this upgraded card opens the door to a world of possibilities, giving holders access to social benefits and financial services. But there is a catch. The cost of this card remains administrative. Director Card Management Services offered a telling analogy, comparing it to the cost of similar cards in the country, a hint that it may not come cheap.
It's going to be anchored on the bank. Who is going to issue these cards to you? Banks, again, may decide to add additional value, additional services, additional features to you. So therefore, right now, we are not fixing it and forcing until the card will be 1 naira, will be 2,000.
Private sector partners who are working on the project also shed light on the card's efficiency and its robust security features, promising it will meet global standards.
As a general multi-purpose card, we are embedding the payments in addition to the identity in the card. So you have a card who's able to, which you can use for identity, but at the same time enhance payments.
The card has 32 wallets. So across multiple ministries, departments, that same card can be utilized to access multiple other types of programs.
Meanwhile, the Director General of NIMC, Abisoye Kuka-Odushote, hosted a delegation from the World Bank, which is funding the ID4D project. She emphasized how the World Bank loan will ensure that NIN enrollment reaches even the most vulnerable Nigerians, leaving no one behind.
We want to ensure that any groups that are marginalized will definitely be given the opportunity to be included in this enrollment drive, and also ensure that they have a NIN issued to them.
For now, the rollout of the new general multipurpose card will be gradual, with implementation happening in phases. But for millions of Nigerians, it signals more than convenience. It offers hope for inclusivity and access to critical services. This new initiative might just be the bridge between identity and opportunity. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
You're watching the latest of the news at 11 on NTA News 24. We now take a short break. We'll be back in a moment to stay with us. Now, the People's Democratic Party has reaffirmed the name Robinson Ewo-led executive to oversee the affairs of the Rivers State chapter of the party in compliance with the judgment of the Rivers State High Court and pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution of the PDP as amended in 2017. PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Olugunagba, in a statement issued in Abuja, restated the party's obedience to the judgment of the Rivers State High Court so as to avoid a repeat of the scenario in Plateau State, where the party lost many seats won in the National Assembly and the Plateau State House of Assembly in the 2023 general elections as a result of non-compliance with the 2020 court judgment against the PDP congresses, which produced the then party executives in Plateau State. The PDP noted that it has no option than to abide by the judgment of the Rivers State High Court, which nullified the ward, local government and state congresses of the party in Rivers State conducted on July 27, August 10 and August 31, 2024, given that the judgment not being appealed, set aside or stayed by any court of competent jurisdiction. Now, as the global community commemorates 2025 International Day of Education, pupils and students in Abuja have been encouraged to take their academics seriously to effect the societal changes that they desire. Now, this was the advocacy of Buni Yadi Foundation at the LEA Primary School, Kado Estate, and also at Government Secondary School, Jabi. The founder, Ni Ayola Daniels, preached the message of unity, telling his real-life story about how he was rescued from imminent harm as a young student in Buni Yadi village, Yobe State, by a stranger.
Because education has the power to move you from one level to a higher level. And as such, we are here today in commemoration of this day to celebrate the values of education and also use education as a platform to preach peace, unity, and diversity.
The students who receive free educational materials say they are inspired by the foundation.
We want to say a very big thank you for educating us, enlightening us on the benefits of education, encouraging us to take our academics seriously.
I want to thank them especially for teaching me the key value of education and the importance of education in life generally.
They've actually done a lot. They've actually encouraged me particularly concerning education and concerning the fact that in order to attain excellence in life, I have to put more struggles, put more hard work.
The non-governmental organization is devoted to creating education awareness and scholarship opportunities to students in poor communities. In further acknowledgement of the transformative power of education, Nigeria remains steadfast in its commitment to ensuring that every child, regardless of their background, has access to quality education. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu gave this assurance in her message marking this year's International Day of Education, while noting with pride the recent strides made in the country's education sector. The First Lady, however, advocates sustained investment in the future by empowering our children to rise above the challenges they face and build a better tomorrow. Reflecting on the theme for the celebration, AI and Education, Human Agency in an Automated World, the First Lady says it is timely as AI has become an integral part of educational systems globally, holding the potential to enhance learning. Her message, however, calls attention to the important questions about the balance between technology and human decision-making, noting that AI can serve as a tool for empowerment, fostering critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence, rather than replacing the irreplaceable human touch. It calls on educators and other policymakers to advocate for inclusive educational curriculum that will integrate AI literacy with core values and human compassion. This is the late evening news at 11. We now take a look at our major stories. President Tinubu canvasses for improved collaboration with Algeria and the European Union, seeks to revive Trans-Saharan African gas pipeline project. Police arrest 2 more kidnappers of former AIG's wife, recover cash and firearms. And TCN restores bulk power to parts of FCT and environs after weeks of blackout. Now, Senator representing Plateau South Senatorial District and former Governor of Plateau State, Simon Bakola-Long, has expressed deep shock and sadness over the passing away of former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Lieutenant General Jeremiah Timbut Oseni, at the age of 82. A statement by the Special Advisor on Media and to Senator Simon Bakola-Long, Dr. Makut Simon Marcham, says Lalong received with a heavy heart the death of the veteran military general, politician and elder statesman who has served Nigeria with dignity, integrity and patriotism. This military career of General Oseni, who served in various capacities within the Nigerian Army, where he left indelible footprints and records of meritorious performance. Among other positions, General Oseni was the military governor of Old Bendel State, Minister of Transport and Quartermaster General of the Nigerian Army. As FCT Minister, General Oseni was instrumental to the development of the capital city, which has progressed to one of the fastest growing and successful capital cities in Africa. Lalong said the foray of General Oseni into politics also recorded successes as he served, among others, as Senator representing Plateau South Senatorial District between 2015 to 2019, where he did his best to touch the lives of the people. Senator Lalong also described General Oseni as a fine politician whose credentials were at play when he contested as PDP candidate in 2019. He prayed God to grant him eternal rest and forgive his shortcomings and comfort the family. And this concludes the news at 11 on NJ News 24. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Justin Bem. You do have a good night rest.